For those of you that choose to have legal representation or need to have legal representation for your Social Security disability benefits to help them get approved, I am in hopes that these 14 points that I'm going to share with you will help you select the right person or company to partner with and help you understand maybe you hired somebody already and they are or they're not a match. So this is based on my 18 years of experience and going through and speaking with members and listening to good and bad stories about legal representation. So before I get into that, when I say legal representation, that could be an attorney. All they have to do is pass the bar, and then they have the ability to do this work for Social Security disability. Or for non-attorneys like me, you have to go through a test passing process, annual certification to demonstrate that you have the knowledge to do this work. So there's good people that do both. There's good attorneys that do this work, and there's good non-attorneys. So again, I'm in hopes that this information will help you sort it out. Before I get into the list, the key thing here is this. The cost for a Social Security disability representative is the same. It's set by Social Security. It's the same fee structure where they get paid 25% of your back benefits, and that's capped at right now at the time of this recording, $7,200. So where it gets expensive and where you pay more is if you hire a representative that doesn't do the right work at the right time, usually early in the case, so that you don't get approved at the initial application, because you can. And internally here, I know our results, I don't put them in videos, but there's a probability that is decent that you can get approved at the initial application. All right, so I have created a list, and it's just my list. It's not totally comprehensive, and others may have different opinions of this out there. But again, it's my list. So the first thing you want to know from this list is, what other areas of law or work do they do? And if you're in typical small town America, or it could be in a city, but it's mostly small town America, people are doing different types of law. They're doing family law, they're doing car accidents, dog bites, some divorce, some credit repair, and oh, by the way, we'll take your disability case. In these situations, word of caution, that right there to me, unless they have a specific division that's doing Social Security more than 30 cases a month, I wouldn't consider them, because they're not doing enough to be good at it. And where a lot of people run into problems is they just hire legal representation without knowing the criteria that is going to be helpful for them. So that's number one. Where are you located? This really, in my opinion, is not an issue right now, because Social Security is a federal program, and post-COVID, a lot of the hearings are done remotely, either over the phone or via video. But if you're really concerned about that and you want to go down to somebody's office, if they let you in, or if they're there, then that could be something that you have to factor into this. So for the work that we do, we work in all 50 states, and here at the Disability Digest, we provide a course that can help you do this on your own, or if you want to use the course with a representative, at least you know what needs to be done at each step of the way, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. Communication plan. This is another area that you've got to get a handle on, because you may have expectations that you can call them every day. What's going on with my case? Why am I not approved? So get a communication plan in line with expectations. Understand if you call them and leave a message and you don't get them, what you can expect for a time frame to get back. Same with email, text, all of the communication in place. And I would encourage you to be respectful. At the time of this recording, there is a high level of cases, like the most amount that's ever been in the Social Security system, and then a comparable amount of Social Security disability representatives. So they can be very choosy. So being a good disability applicant, a good client with good practices in communication is one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you. Okay, the next one is, what is their experience? Maybe they're doing 30 cases a month, but what is this individual's experience that is like working on your case? How many have they done? How many years have they done it? That's also going to be important. And here's a few drill down questions to get some good information. And the first one is, how are you going to maximize my chances of winning? Now, this one is really important because there's order takers out there. They'll just take your information, put it into the Social Security system, let Social Security do their work. So for you, what I encourage you to do is join us as a member if you're not already here at the Disability Digest, and understand what needs to be done to really maximize your chances at each step of the way. And then if you want to use a disability representative and it's not somebody that we help you find to partner with, or you already have one, then you know what you should be getting done at each step of the way. Because it's different at initial than it is if you're waiting for a decision, than it is if you've been denied, than it is if you're waiting for a hearing, or you've been denied at a hearing. Okay? Important. Understand the process. Don't just go hire somebody and say, I got an attorney. It's all taken care of. It's on autopilot. Big mistake. Okay. The next question is this. And we've done live events on helping you understand like what the premise is for your disability approval, like how to communicate that you can't work. But you should ask your person that interviews you, what's your theory? Like, what is it that you're going to do? Can you explain to me how you explain to Social Security that I qualify for benefits? This is totally different than what you're going to do for me. What you're going to do for me is the technical part of like requesting medical records, like reviewing those, looking for severe conditions, etc. The theory is how they're going to take that information and communicate it to Social Security. Here's the next one. What can I do, or what can you do to help? And with that is like, what's expected of me? A representative can do a lot of the heavy lifting, but they're not able to do everything. That's just my take, because only you know your doctors and that working relationship. So to get, for example, doctor support, documentation done, the most effective way to do it is to have you in the process of doing that. That's just one example. So what can you do to help, right? And be proactive about it. Ask, like, if you're at the lower levels and you might go to a hearing or you're hiring them to do a hearing, who's going to do the hearing? And the next question is, how will you prepare me for a hearing? I've just found people that are totally petrified of a hearing. They've never been to court in their life, or maybe they have, and they just, what you don't know, it usually drives this this feeling. But if they can help you understand what they're going to do, maybe they're going to call you 6 weeks out, they're going to do a soft review, they're going to call you 7 days out, they're going to do a more intensive review, things like that, and they'll help you understand what your role is, what their role is, so you can say, I got that. It's not going to be that bad. That's really what you want, so you can have some peace of mind. Okay, I'm just going through the list here. Costs. I talked about the costs at the top of this, but you want to find out if there's any additional costs. Sometimes you'll get zinged for like medical records or administrative charges. Are there any additional costs, and how do those work? Okay. Then the last key thing that you want to ask is, at the end is, what is your experience in working with individuals that have my condition, my age, and my work history? This is really the same as the case theory question, but it's good for checks and balances just to see if they're consistent in their response. Okay, so those are some of the top ones. These points I'm going to put in the description of the video so you can have them lined up. You can go through. I'd love to hear your feedback. Maybe there's additional things that you've found that would be helpful. And I have two last closing points to make. One is that if you hired somebody and they don't meet this criteria, you can fire them. You have the right to release them. And we have directions here at the Disability Digest to do that. And then the last one is, again, this is a reminder that the disability approval course that we have, which is put together by many prominent Social Security disability attorneys throughout the U.S., will provide you with the supporting information that you can use when you're interviewing or if you've already interviewed. So make sure you get your hands on that as well. And if you've learned anything from the process, I'm really giving you 3 in closing, I'd love to hear from you. Like, what is it that you've done, or what is it that you've done that you you're not so proud of, and maybe you can share that with others. So that would be helpful. All right, join us in the comments. Stay tuned for more and make it a great day. This has been Brian from the Disability Digest. Thank you.